Okay, it's Miss Hall. We are doing finding the slope from 2 points. So solving for slope with a graph, we use rise over run. Or m equals change in y over change in x. Remember we talked about rate of change, constant rate of change, constant proportionality, slope. All of those are change in y over change in x. Sometimes we are not given a graph, but instead we're given 2 coordinate points on a line. When this is the case, we use the formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or change in y over change in x. It's just another way to look at change in y over change in x, because we're subtracting the y's from each other, so that's the change, right? So the little triangles, we've talked about it before, but I'm going to say it again. It means change. Okay, example 1. Find the slope of the coordinate planes 7, 1, and 3, 2. So it says do a table. I actually like to just label mine. So I'm going to write my coordinate, or I could just do it right on here. Well, no, I'm going to write it down so it's bigger. So I have 7, 1, and 3, negative 2. Okay, I'm going to label it. So this is my x1 and my y1, and my x2 and my y2. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here, and I have my formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to plug in my numbers. So my y2 is negative 2 minus my y1 is 1 over x2 is 3 minus x1 is 7. Okay, so now I'm just going to use my operations with integers to simplify this, right? So I have negative 2 minus 1. I can change it like that. So I know negative 2 plus negative 1 is negative 3, and 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Now I have 2 negatives, so that makes a positive. So it is 3/4. Okay, so that is our slope from the points 7, 1, and 3, negative 2. So now that we have the slope, write the equation by multiplying the slope by 0. If the answer is 0, then y equals mx and has a value, then use y equals mx plus b. So what we're going to do, what all that means is using 1 point and the slope, we're going to solve for the y-intercept. So y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to use the second point right here. And so I'm just going to plug in where the x is, I'm going to plug in for x, and where the y is, I'm going to plug in for y. That's all we're doing. Don't freak out. It's not a big deal. You're just plugging in. And then we know our slope was 3/4, so that's going to go in where slope is. So I have negative 2 equals 3/4 times 3 plus b. I'm finding b, which is the y-intercept. So 3 times 3, so I have negative 2. Sorry, hopefully you can write smaller. 3 times 3 is 9 over 4 is 9/4 plus b. I'm going to subtract 9/4 from both sides. That ends up being -4 1/4 equals B. So that means where our line, our graph crosses the y-intercept is -4 1/4. So now we're going to write the equation. Remember, it asks us to write the equation. So this is our y-intercept, and this over here, the -3/4, the 3/4 is our slope. So y, remember we're writing it in y equals mx plus b format, equals 3/4 x minus 4 1/4. So first we use the 2 points to find our slope. Then we plugged in the slope with one of those points and found our y-intercept. And then we can write our equation in y equals mx plus b format. Okay, so I'm going to erase this so we can come down here. Okay, so we have some examples here I want to do with y'all. Okay, so we have find the slope of the line that passes through each pair of points, then write an equation. Well, that actually gives us the 2 points here, and so we can do, I'm going to make this 1. This is going to be my point 1, and this is going to be my point 2. Okay, so I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my y2 is 4, my y1 is 1, my x2 is 2 minus 0, 4 minus 1 is 3, and 2 minus 0 is 2. So my slope is 3/2. We also could have done it rise over run instead of using the 2 points, and I just want to show you both ways so you see it is the same. So here's our point here, and we're going to start at the y-intercept, and notice I rise 3, and then I run 2. So either way you do it, you get the same answer. So now we know our slope. We know our y-intercept is here. We know our y-intercept is 0, 1. So our equation is y equals 3/2 x plus 1. We're just plugging in the stuff we know. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing with the second one, but this time we do have to use our y2 minus y1 formula over x2 minus x1. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So my y2 is 4 minus 7, and then my x's are -1 minus 2. Okay, if it helps you, do your keep, change, change. Keep, change, change. So now I know I have 4 plus -7, so that is -3. -1 plus -2 is -3. Any number over itself is 1. So our slope is 1. Now we can write now we have to figure out what our equation is using one of the points. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to use, did you turn that in? Okay, thank you. I'm going to use this first one, doesn't matter. So I'm just going to use my y equals mx plus b, right? So my y here is 7, my slope is 1, my x is 2, plus b. Remember, I'm solving for b. I want to know what b is. So 7 equals 2 plus b. Subtract 2 from both sides. 5 equals b. So my y-intercept is b. Now I'm going to write my equation. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals my slope. Remember, slope was 1, so it's just x. My y-intercept is 5. Y equals x plus 5. Okay, I would suggest this is not difficult. It is a little confusing at first. Y'all go ahead and watch this again maybe, just to kind of get this down, what we're doing. And just remember, rise over run, change in y over change in x, really is the same thing as y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. If you have any questions, come tomorrow with your questions. Thank you.